Welcome to Nuggets, bite-sized lessons to help you live, lead, and think better. We take one simple idea, one little nugget, and turn it into something you can use in your everyday life. I'm Pellegrino.
And I'm François. In our previous episode, we spoke about honesty. We were on the level of politicians and royals and leaders, and we received something we like, and that's feedback from you viewers. Somebody dropped the bomb related to honesty and said, what if the environment is not ready for honesty? And this is relevant both for the work situation, at home, in friendships, everywhere. What if the environment, the surroundings are not ready to cope with honesty?
Yeah, we're gonna go one level deeper this time. It's one thing to come out with the truth when something happens, but it's really about environment, isn't it? You know, what environment is it easy to tell the truth in the first place? We talked a lot about the Crown Princess last time. Maybe it just didn't feel safe to tell the truth. We never thought about that. So it's really good to get viewer input here. So we're going to go one level deeper and talk about the environment, what it takes to create a place where it's safe for people to talk about the truth and tell the truth. And of course, at the end of each episode, we're going to give you 3 things that you can do. What can you do? Actionable behaviors today.
Yeah. And we like that the safety is in place with this format of ours, that you come with feedback. We love feedback. We love when you share nuggets so we can grow and share the good pieces of useful information.
Yeah.
But safety, it's pretty much about psychological safety. That's a term that's come to light.
That's such an overused term out there, psychological safety. But
Amy Edmondson, isn't it?
Amy Edmondson, I think, coined the expression psychological safety, and I've seen lots of different definitions of it. I've got my own little definition.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and this is pure experience, going out into organizations and looking for psychological safety. I think if a person can say, in this place of work, in this environment, if they can say, I can be myself without fear of reprimand or consequence, I think you're on the right track. The key word there being fear. I think fear is a major, major element. If it's not safe, you can't be honest. It's that simple.
No.
I think it's that simple. And not just at work, but at home as
well. Everywhere. Yeah. In upbringing, in friendships, if fear is present, it's hard to be honest. We need to feel safe to be honest. That's
and she says so herself, actually. Since you brought Amy Edmondson, I've got a quote here.
Really? You have a quote?
Of course, I can have a quote.
You have a quote for everything.
A nugget in every episode. That's why we call this
nuggets.
It's called nuggets. A nugget of truth, a nugget of wisdom that we take and we turn into something you could use in your everyday life. Remember the intro? Yeah,
I remember.
It's fear.
Times.
She says in the book called The Fearless Organization, she said it's fear of being judged and fear of damaging relationships. That's interesting. So it's not because we're cowards or spineless, because it's more to do with the fact that because we're afraid of being rejected, of losing our group, of being kicked out of the tribe, the flock, the group, we're willing to keep our mouths shut. It's fear of exclusion. That's really interesting.
We visited a lot of companies in our work.
Yeah, loads.
Have you been to, we do many prep meetings where we prepare for performance. Have you been to meetings where you sense this fear that people, they want to say something but they don't dare to?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you address it in meetings?
Sometimes I do, actually. I can see that someone wants to say something, and I say, I couldn't help. Sometimes I say, I couldn't help seeing you react there. Did you have something to say? And what I find is that the leader of the company, whoever that may be, doesn't always react positively. What they're going to say now. I think it's so important to get people's fear is the main thing. I mean, the obvious example, which we use again and again. The most obvious example today is Trump's inner circle. It's just so
ever-diminishing circle.
The rule is really simple. Either you say what I want you to say, or you're not in the group. So what's the result? They end up saying
they end up getting fired, or because they don't dare to say anything at all. There's just a yes crowd. That's not healthy in any context.
Not healthy in any context, which is why back to the feedback from the viewers again. But we love the feedback, and not just we love to hear the praise.
Any kind of feedback.
Any kind of feedback. How could we be better? Where's the improvement? Do you like the color of the lamps that we've got? We've gone for the orange feel here. You know, do you like how shiny my forehead is? Whatever. Should I be putting makeup on it? Or
all this is halo, halo feedback.
So absolutely, Trump. It reminds me of the mafia. Have you seen that scene in Godfather 2?
Which one?
They're in Vegas. They're in Vegas, and Michael is having a
Mo
meeting.
Green.
Mo Green. Do you remember Mo Green?
Of course.
And Michael says, "I want to buy you out," and Mo Green says, "I buy you out." And Fredo's there.
Yep, he stands up.
Fredo's the brother of Michael, and Fredo tries to cover up for Mo Green. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And at the end of the scene, Mo Green storms out, and Michael says, "Fredo, you're my older brother, and I love you, but don't ever take sides against the family again."
That's psychological.
But then there's that pause, and then he goes, "Ever." Now that is not an environment where you're allowed to be disloyal, speak your mind if it goes against leadership, right?
But to bridge from the mafia to corporate life,
okay,
many companies
same thing, isn't it?
Same thing in a different way. But many companies use the phrase "culture eats strategy for breakfast," and many companies talk about the outstanding culture they claim to have.
Yeah.
But when we get to the rooms, when we do our presentations, we can sense something quite opposite.
Yeah.
How can companies prove that they have the culture they claim to have or brag about that they think exists?
Let me turn it around a bit. When you hear people telling you the truth, how do you know it's the truth?
Exactly.
Have you even asked yourself that question?
But what can they, to not address the phrase too early, what can they do to find out if it's actually true, if they're not just being, they're kissing behinds?
I think
the employees.
I think are we jumping straight to the what can you do now already?
No. I said not to do it, but still do it.
It sounds like you have a suggestion. It sounds like a loaded question. I don't know what you can do. Well, I think the key is that whatever the other person says, whether it's positive or negative, you reward them for saying it. I think it's that simple.
Yeah. Acknowledge.
Reward. I use the word reward because all human behavior is based on reward and punishment, and humans will go towards that which is pleasurable.
Carrot or stick,
right? We move towards pleasure, we move away from pain. I think that's a really important one. We move towards pleasure, we move away from pain. So if pain is punishment, losing your job, you're not going to say it, you're not going to go there. But if there's pleasure involved, and by pleasure, thank you for your input, thank you for raising that, I wasn't aware of that. I appreciate you speaking up. That couldn't have been easy. All those things reward a person, and that is the way to get people to do things.
But normally our primary or our default reaction is to address things that can be improved.
Yeah.
But when we reward, we should show gratitude, like you say. Thank you for pointing that out. Do you have another solution to that problem? Yeah. Which direction do you think we could go in?
Yeah.
So acknowledge and then create not only grounds for honesty, but also grounds for growth.
Well, you can't grow without honesty first. I don't think you can grow without understanding where and this isn't just at work. It's also at home.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got kids, 3 kids. You don't have kids, but you were a kid once.
Yeah.
How was your home environment?
I'm a father to Caesar. No, don't forget Caesar. This is the first video or recorded with visuals.
We should really have a picture video there.
We should have a picture of Caesar.
Caesar there. But I mean, okay, let me ask you a question. I'm going to look deep into your eyes now, right? If I ask you a question, what was it like growing up at home? Was there psychological safety? Were you able to tell the truth?
Not with my first 2 fathers because they were quite stick.
Okay.
With physical punishment. So there was definitely no...
They used the stick?
No, they slapped me.
They slapped you?
Yeah. That was not especially that number 2. I wasn't good in mathematics, and my homework could be heard and felt through the brick walls in Holland to know my name. Yeah, that's true.
Right.
That was tough, and that has, of course, influenced me.
I had a similar background. My father and my mother. It was different times, but my father's really difficult, to be honest with him. Yeah, it was really difficult. It was a bit like the Fredo and Michael growing up, and you don't grow, do you? Because you're afraid. Constantly afraid. You're constantly on guard. The
unpredictability, the lack of predictability, this constant nerve. Is this correct? That's why I ended up being a funny guy, because I know when the vibe is good, when there's humor, when there's fun, it's safe. So that's probably a mechanism that has evolved through my upbringing.
Okay, so you were trying to smooth over and create a good vibe.
Good atmosphere. So,
but that was more important than actually telling the truth.
Yeah.
There you go. You see, that's the fear of being excluded from the tribe. It's so powerful, isn't it? So, all right. I feel like I'm just kind of processing what we're saying here. When I look at Trump's inner circle again, that's the example I keep coming back to again and again. That is such a bad environment.
It's terrible, because then there's no growth or development when the situation is like that. So look at your culture and analyze and reflect with and about your culture to find the true pulse of it. That's important.
And that requires a lot of bravery and courage from the leadership side, because
and openness.
Because who likes to be criticized? Nobody likes it. I don't think anybody wakes up and goes, "Oh, I really hope I get criticized 3 times today."
No, we should,
but we don't.
No, but that's a bit because of the form of criticism as well. If criticism is to make the person you're giving the feedback to improve, then it's good. But if you're just being butchered without any progress drivers, then it's not nice to be criticized. Of course not. So the intention is important.
I feel another episode coming up. We save this one, feedback culture.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That could be a good one, huh?
That's a good
feedback culture. Let's do that for another episode.
And then we could say that the viewers asked us to talk about feedback culture to make it interactive.
God. I've got enough to think about with my little control panel here, and I've got to listen to your quips as well. Yeah, but listen, we're coming to that time of the episode which requires a little jingle. Are you ready for the little jingle, my friend?
Are we already there?
Yeah.
The what can you do thing?
Absolutely.
Okay, that was fast.
We can talk about that,
What time? Oh, shoot. Yeah. Time flies. That's the part of the program. What can you do at home? 3 pieces of simple advice for everyday life use at work, at home, with the small ones, with the elders. We never know when it's useful with the what can you do. What we do know is that it's useful. The first one is... What do you
start us off? Go on.
Test it.
What does that mean?
That means testing the relationship, testing the culture, testing the vibe.
Okay.
Like I said at home, I used humor to avoid moments of pain, and it became my way of life and my professional work. So it ended up in a good way. Could have been in a totally different direction as well. But test the culture, test the team, test the way you communicate with your people, your tribe, at home or at work.
And you can do that really easily by asking a question. When was the last time someone disagreed with me?
Yeah.
Simple. I think it's as simple as that. When's the last one someone disagreed with me?
And how did I cope with it?
In public.
In public.
Meaning, in front of other people. And how did I
cope? At the allmøte, as we say in Norwegian.
The allmøte?
The allmøte.
Okay, the all meeting.
The all meeting.
Town hall.
The town hall. The town hall.
Number two is, I think I mentioned it before, reward the truth.
Yeah.
In other words, someone has the courage to tell you the truth, whether it's positive or negative. If it's especially negative, reward it. Thank you.
Could we tweak that? Reward openness.
Yeah, absolutely. It's simple. Any form of behavior that you want from your people around you, whether it's your leadership team, your family, your football team,
your friends.
Just think, what kind of behavior do I want? I want people to open up and tell the truth. Okay, then I must reward that.
Yeah.
Every time they do that, I reward it, even if inside it feels like, oh, you shitbag, bringing that up again.
Yeah.
I need to reward it.
that brings us to the third one, because that's all about watching your reactions when this happens.
Yeah.
Because I can read if you feel that I'm a shitbag in your body language or your focus or where you go when you reward openness.
And this is an interesting one, because if I'm brutally honest with myself, I'm not very good at receiving negative feedback.
No, me neither.
But I'm honest enough to know that and be aware of it.
We're working on it.
Therefore, I work on it. Therefore, I've been known to say to people who've given me I've asked for feedback, for example, for my stage work, and I'll say to that person, be brutally honest. If you see a reaction in me that you think, oh, he didn't take that well, ignore it. Because I'm not very good. I want you. I demand you to give me, even if it looks like I'm being hurt. Don't stop.
That's honesty.
Yeah. And I say that. I give them permission.
Or masochism.
Yeah, I'm not sure. There's a fine line between the two there. But so they give me the feedback and I'm in good Catholic way.
I love the sound of your
give me more feedback.
Yeah.
No, but I give them permission. Tell the truth. I do that with my kids as well. Tell me the truth.
Yeah.
I don't want to. Why not? Because you'll be angry. Okay, I will be angry, but if I am angry, it's just a reaction.
Yeah,
don't stop.
Yeah, that's a bit about the first impression, because the first reaction would be to, okay, he doesn't like it, so I'll stop. But when you tell it, it's great. Excellent.
I'm
going to start using that.
Yeah, it's important to do it in the small moments in life, because it's not the big moments that matter. It's the small little behaviors in everyday life. That's what makes it easy. And I think people over time, that's the other thing, they need time to believe you really want honest feedback.
That is genuine, yeah.
That is genuine, yeah? So test it, ask yourself a question, when's the last time someone agreed with me? Reward the behavior you want, reward the truth, reward openness, as you said, and be very, very aware of your actual reaction to it.
Be very, very aware of your reaction.
What's that?
No, you sound a bit German there, but maybe it was in my head.
I think it
was in my head. So no, that's good. I like the what can you do. They're actually exactly what we wanted to be.
Well, I hope so.
Relatable, simple, and usable. And they require practice.
And they do. You've got to require practice. So, where are we now? Well, I feel like we're coming to the end of yet another great little episode, even though I say so myself.
I can agree. We're within the time limit as well.
Just a reminder, always
47.
nuggets are bite-sized, 20 minutes. 20 minutes maximum. So it's time.
Packed and to the point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully.
So basically, it's time to give you that little recap. I'm going to put the camera on you. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready for this?
Camera on. Camera one. Ready to shoot. It is shooting. We're waiting for some sound effects. But if the sound effects don't
do
appear,
the sound effects yet. Camera two.
I'm not doing the sound effects. You're doing the sound effects.
Yeah.
So the camera's on, and I'm locked and ready to talk about honesty on a deeper level, because the environment for honesty is not omnipresent or ever present, and it's our job to create that culture which is open and accepting towards honesty. Unless the framework is not in place, if we have fear in the walls or in the culture, then it doesn't need strategy for breakfast. So safety will breed honesty. Honesty will breed growth. Thanks for watching, dear people. Do come back, do share, and do challenge us. Thank you very much.
Say bye-bye there, man.
Bye.
Say bye-bye.
Adios.
Thanks for watching.